Ein Hafen. Ein Molotow-Cocktail. Eine Feuergranate, meine ich. Oh nein, das Schiff brennt.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbor.
The ship's blazing ever higher.
Come on then, put your
Haben wir noch eine Wasserschriftrolle? Granate. Eisspiel hilft hier uns auch nicht weiter. Ölfläschchen. Öl da reinzuschütten ist jetzt zunächst bestimmt auch nicht die gute Idee. Tja, tut mir leid. Ich kann nicht helfen. Ich habe keine Wassermagie dabei. Lederstücke. Okay, ist eine Truhe.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
Als ob wir da nicht rüber können. Lächerlich. Okay, ist ein größeres Schiff. Holzspäne.
Ahoy, sailor!
Könnt beinahe allen Charakteren handeln, benutzt das Handelssymbol. Ah, ja. Ich würde zum Schmied gehen, um da die Waffen loszuwerden, die wir gesammelt haben und nicht brauchen.
Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds, launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
Shores? Here? In Cyseal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one.
Es war ein heftiger Angriff auf den Hafen.
Madness! Thought we were done with those swampy uglies a fortnight ago. Note, though, that none of them dared to come close to the tide splitter.
Ich bin dann mal weg. Na, wir haben gerade leider keine Schriftrolle des Regens. Sonst würde ich gleich helfen. Das könnte hier wirklich helfen. Das könnte ausreichen. Wir klauen hier mal ein bisschen.
I can't even smell the sea air over this raft.
Curse them rotten greenskins! Ate me parrot, Polly, feathers and all!
Wegpunktstein. Bisschen Lagerhaus tun.
Plenty of fish in the sea,
Ihr habt einen Wegpunkt entdeckt. Sie ermöglichen schnelle Reisen zwischen bisher entdeckten Wegpunkten. Aha. Na, wo kenne ich das nur her?
Salutations! Source Hunter,
Unteroffizier
I'm
Crucius.
Sergeant Courteous, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. Courteous is my name, the Legion is my calling.
Was genau befindet sich in diesem
This
Raum?
is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Courteous, have been trusted to guard it.
Okay, wir finden dann den Typen, der hier.
Very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my current affairs. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour. And of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter.
Und welche Meinung ist Horatius genau?
This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you.
Er hat nichts zum Handeln.
Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Courteous, proud protector of this house of Legion goods.
So viel haben wir gar nicht, das zu kaufen.
Just make a
Wasserpfeil.
conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
Der Wasserstab
Come
des
now,
Arztes.
it's just a turn of phrase.
Will
Die sieht
you
nicht schlecht
please
aus.
turn your phrases elsewhere?
Vermunk. Wer hier dran interessiert, 228. Da können wir ein bisschen Muscheln verkaufen. Eimer. Drei benutzen. Und Wasserbomben. Vielleicht du was mal brauchen. Gut, das würde ich jetzt auch noch nicht verkaufen. Zahle ich mal 228. Wieder blank, aber $240. Ja, okay, 32 nimm.
God, duty's not so bad, hey?
Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
Come now, it's just a turn of
Ein
phrase.
besserer Stab.
Will you please turn your phrases elsewhere?
Report!
Nothing to report, sir.
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took
Wir
us
müssen uns Geld
seriously.
verdienen.
Maybe you
Und
can
Sachen
start with the
leisten
two
können.
idiots hiding their pet orc here.
Report?
Still nothing, sir.
Aye, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head.
Keine Schicht.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets? Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions, but now we're needed at our posts, I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to save him from his murderous darling.
Okay. Sie muss ins Jenseits befördert werden, wenn dieser Liebesdruck so unzuverlässig ist. Ein Kind kann jeder zu ihrem brutalen Sinn kommen. Kann sie jederzeit zu ihrem brutalen Sinn kommen. Lasst sie am Leben, wenn der Trunk wirklich nutzlos wäre, hätte er sie nicht verzaubert. In diesem fügsamen Zustand stellt sie vielleicht alles das wertvolle Informantin aus. Denke ich auch.
Bravo! I trust not only the potion, but my scaly
wenn dann,
sweetheart in and of herself.
Kann man die immer noch töten.
You're going to regret this. We're all going to regret this.
Oh.
Ah ja. Und ich wollte ja nicht klauen. Eine Ratze. Dann halt nicht. Sag mal, wo finde ich denn den Typen, der mir hier nach oben das geben muss? Mein Tagebuch wurden neue Informationen zugefügt. Drücke L, um es zu öffnen. Oha.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Ist hier nicht verzaubert.
I can't even smell the sea air
Ja,
over this rock.
Das Schiff, wenn das noch nicht abgebrannt ist, vielleicht können wir da ja mal
We need more help or she's lost.
eine Wasserbombe helfen.
The ship's blazing ever higher.
Ein Wasserballon.
We need more help, or she's lost.
Ah, sehr schön. Haben wir mal geholfen.
I don't know how you did that hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine vessel like that disappear beneath the waves. I thought the old girl's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails, but you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Er hat einen Ast und Gold.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Okay. Ein Metalllegion mehr.
These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Wait a second. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the source hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation?
Zivilisten dürfen sich also nicht außerhalb des Tuches aufhalten.
You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the orcs did on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'll bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out?
Nach reiflicher Überlegung sollten wir das Tor verschlossen halten.
Thank you for heeding my words of warning, Hunter. Cyseal needs you alive and well.
Sollten wir mal gucken. Ach, das ist noch mehr Wildnis. Und wieder ein Schlachtfeld. Geh mal hier hoch. Scheint es irgendwie weiterzugehen.
A drink and gamble, that's all we do around here. I hope you fare better, source hunter.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. Many legionnaires did so before you. Very few have returned.
Drink and gamble. That's all we do.
Ah ja. Zucken und Zechen. Drückt M, um die Karte zu öffnen. Einige Charaktere werden wichtige Orte und Charakter markiert, damit ich bis zurechtfindet. Ah, das ist der Tatort. Reus Arbeitszimmer. Okay, da müssen wir wahrscheinlich erstmal hin, bevor wir einen Tatort dürfen. Jetzt sind wir schon mal hier. Ich glaube, Wurzeln wir erstmal einen Fall noch treffen. Vor hier ermitteln. Ein Schaf.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially that Evelyn. She's out to get me. I know it. Meh.
Interessant.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Ein Brunnen. Kann man nicht hinabkriechen.
If you think black sheep are
Und Spinnen zu
weird,
besiegen.
try weird sheep.
Wehrschafe? Ich hoffe nicht.
Your humble bard, here to serve for your
imagination's palate, a meal most unforgettable. Of whom should I sing? Of salty pirates mired in brine? Of sweet sugared fairies sipping the sap of fruit trees? Of bitter water?
What on earth would an undertaker want with the likes of Huggett?
Liberté, equality, and brotherhood for all will turn the wicked cleaver of decapitation upon you. Revolution is coming!
Der Mann hat große Ziele.
Fantastic!
Der wurde nicht synchronisiert. Wo ist das Hauptquartier? Ja, ich werde mal wirklich da erstmal hingehen. Dass wir dann Ärger kriegen.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Cysealian stew. Again!
What's the status?
Another good to have you back, Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes indeed.
Excellent! Let's keep it that way.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldier.
Da vorne ist hin.
About face!
The beast looks rabid.
Do the barracks! Not!
I wish for you to try it, screech woman.
The beast speaks.
Das sieht ihn in dem Haus. Können wir mal nach dem Weg
Murder
fahren?
within the walls, undead outside of the walls, and here we legionnaires sit twiddling our thumbs.
Irgendwo das Haus daneben.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
So it is.
Ein Wegpunkt.
I'm
Gehen
warm
wir
as
erstmal
fresh
zum
apple
Wegpunkt.
pie.
Nottor sind wir hier.
Now, where is my pepper?
Das wird das Haus hier sein, oder nicht? Das Hauptquartier.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only encourage it.
Do the barracks! Not!
Ice blue eyes, narrow beneath a heavy brow streaked with sweat and dust. Her hands tense.
Her brow knits together, but something in her pose relaxes. She clears her throat.
I am Bear Daughter. I have not come here to find trouble with the Screech woman. She only startled me. And you are a source hunter. I have heard many tales of your order. Your history is long and honorable. This woman here, the one who now plots her revenge, she crept behind me while I was hunting, and I only defended myself. I would not hurt an innocent Screech woman on purpose. But soon their swords were upon me, and they forced me into this cage meant for dogs. Mother would rip the fur from her chest if she could see how they keep me.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Ja.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Cyseal,
but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs. You hear? I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know.
Okay,
leader of the Legion in Cyseal. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop, understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all. How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Cyseal stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Cyseal. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next.
Erzählt mir mehr über die Legion.
We are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. No, we protect the civilized from the barbaric, and we do so impeccably. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion.
Na, dann schau. Ach, du musst Studierzimmer. Okay, der ist auch hier.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Wäre es, wenn ihr mir etwas mehr von euch erzählen würdet?
Oh, I am but a wizard, a guardian of man and beast, and indeed I am both. My body, like any other, is bound to temporal decay. But my spirit is a speck of light that shone forth from the eternal sun that is the cosmic soul. My task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature, the very antithesis of which is the intrigue spun by demons and directors of the dead. Hence my involvement in Cyseal. You see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with calm contentment. For she knows that her chicks or children, her cubs or calves, will grow up without knowing the meaning of menace, the enfeeblement of fear. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking such magic is a gift, Hunter, to be out in the night? But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant me in my cat guise, but I'll just have to be careful around witches, won't I? I'm my own wizard, you know. And I don't intend to become anyone's familiar. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for hours. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were...
Okay, also wir müssen mit der Frau vom Toten reden. Und dann sollten wir mal eine Taverne